I thought you were doing something else.
Adjusting my chi-chis. Is that what you thought I was doing?
What did I say? Cabin in the Woods first?
Yeah, Cabin in the Woods first.
All right. Of all the tropes, archetypes that are in this movie, which one would you be, Jesse?
What are you talking about? You mean out of the 5?
Mm-hmm.
You already know which one it is.
The Fool.
That would be the Fool,
Yeah.
for sure.
Or would be the Scholar.
John's the Jock.
I was going to say the Virgin. Okay, so we finally got around to watching it. After...
I don't know.
I don't,
It's been a while.
Last October?
Probably last year.
I feel like... What were we watching with it?
I don't remember.
But it hasn't been a year. It wasn't October. It was just like a random month.
I thought it was part of the October stuff that we were supposed to do.
Was it?
It's probably in April or May that we wanted to watch this.
I feel like it was just a random...
April or the May and stuff was Harry Potter for sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Very valid question. The outline was up there for the longest time, and then I think you removed it recently. So
No, I didn't.
well, it's not there anymore. So
It removed itself.
Anyways, we tried to watch this before. I forgot what exactly happened. Did you just not watch the movie?
I don't think I just watched the movie.
I think he just chickened himself out.
Yeah,
He
I probably
over
did.
scared himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
So were you, when you agreed to watch it again, were you nervous?
No.
Oh.
After I just like I need to know something, so I read the premise. Like, okay, this doesn't sound as bad as.
Oh.
Yeah, it's definitely not as bad as you were thinking.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Any thoughts from you?
I remember watching this movie just randomly. I heard it was an interesting concept for a movie. So I watched it, I really liked it, and then I watched it like within a week again. And then I was like, this is something we should watch for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And during October, scary season, so it's perfect.
If you guys change seats so we could readjust the cups, our names would be spelled out Jam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
That's something I realized when I first bought them.
Anyway, I don't know what I thought about this movie when I first watched it. This time I was just like, like whatever. I already know what happens. I just gotta rewatch it.
So it's not really worth rewatching, you think? Maybe next year.
I think some people would enjoy rewatching it, especially because of like some of the little sub meanings, I guess. But for me, no.
Okay.
Maybe it's because maybe we did try to watch it recently, so
I thought it was
it's pretty fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I was able to skip a lot because I remembered what happened, and so
Yeah, it's not really complicated, so I don't think there's much to miss, or at least to forget.
yeah. Okay, well I'll go ahead and get into the details. It's directed by Drew Goddard.
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 Mm-hmm.
The tagline is, "If you hear a strange sound outside, ... have sex."
Oh.
It's actually the
Sounds
tagline.
Oh. Okay.
They had a budget of $30 million. Release date April 13th, 2012. A runtime of 1 hour and 35 minutes. Rated R for...
What?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No, I was scratching my face.
Rated R for one head getting chopped off. And a lot more violence after that.
Mm-hmm.
It's streaming... Oh, box office worldwide of $70 million.
I'm scratching my I'm sorry.
It's just because you keep bringing your phone up too, and I'm just like, what is he doing? Streaming on Peacock. We watched it on Vudu, though. I didn't realize it was on Peacock until I was doing the outline. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into our Sell That Sip 6-word summary of the movie.
So let's see.
Go ahead, Albert.
Okay. I got a funny and creative horror movie premise. I thought, after watching it, it was a lot of fun, while watching it, I
Yeah.
realized it was more fun than I was expecting a horror movie to be,
Mm.
and how it was just going back and forth with, I guess, spoilers. It's one group of people trying to manipulate things for the other group of people. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine is you can't force the common tropes. They try to force like each person into like different archetypes, like the jock, the virgin, the scholar,
Mhm.
and it just didn't really work out because like throughout the movie they're just like, but he's not this type
Yeah.
of person, and it's just kind of funny. To
Yeah,
me.
the characters like are straying from what the scientists think they're supposed to be.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even like in the like little videos that they're showing of what's going on in the other areas, like with the little Asian schoolgirls and
Right.
like, yeah,
Everyone's overcoming their stereotypes.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Mine is secret societies shape the shared scares.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Secret society shapes the scared shares. Did I say that right?
Secret societies shapes the shared scares.
That's what I said, right?
No.
I don't remember. I think you said.
Secret
I
society.
think you said
You had shared at
scared
the end.
shares.
Oh, scares instead of shares.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I did say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did I say
Scared shares.
that? That makes no sense. Okay. Do you want to explain?
It's pretty simple.
No,
Secret
yeah.
society
I don't know if you wanted to.
manipulating the movie, and all horror movies are just real plays of, I don't know, manipulation. It's an interesting concept.
Mhm.
I just wanted all S's. That's
Mm.
all.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Let's go ahead and
Thank you.
rate it then. Out of 10 spooky, scary skeletons, what would you rate this movie?
Probably a. I'm stuck between a 7 and an 8.
I feel like it was to say 7.
Yeah, 7. 7.
Upon rewatch, I think the first time I watched it, if we rated it then, it would probably be an 8. But this time it was kind of like a 7.
Lucky number 7, so I'll give it a 7 too.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do our drink then, since Albert was fortunate enough to find us something
Oh.
to drink.
I got something from, I think,
The
Mekong.
ocean?
The ocean, but I don't know. It's just some Japanese orange soda.
Mandarin
It's
soda.
Mandarin, Arctic Ocean,
Where'd you get it from?
Mekong.
Mekong.
Mekong. It's like a Vietnamese supermarket in Mesa.
Oh, nice.
We go there like every other week.
No,
Let's
we
go there
don't.
this week.
I've never been there before.
I've never seen it.
He's lying.
He's not
No,
telling the
never
truth.
mind. It was H Mart. You're right.
H Mart. I'm just
H-Mart.
kidding. I don't know.
He's still lying. We
have never been there either.
It's across the street.
Oh, I've been there then.
It's across the street.
Yeah, the one down the street from my house, right?
No, that's Lily's
Oh, you
I
mean
mean-
across the street from?
from Mekong.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I remember that.
Okay.
It looks like a diluted Sunny D, but with bubbles. Got it. You scared me, dude.
You scared me.
Why am I scaring you?
Oh, I almost drank it. It smells like a Sunny D.
It does.
Really citrusy.
It tastes like if you mix Sunny D with like a soda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But not as tart.
This is a pretty decent soda.
Not too sweet.
Yeah.
Let me guess. 3?
Yeah, I would say 3.
Ah.
I don't really rate sodas that high, so 3.
That's all we drink though.
Yeah.
So you've never been higher than a 3.
I've drank juices before, though.
Oh, okay.
The podcast.
What do you think, John?
3. Yeah.
I like it 4.
Nice.
Another. No, I'm kidding.
Another.
The trivia I found was that this movie was recorded earlier,
Mm-hmm.
but because
Like in 2009 or something.
because of
Really?
the company that produces it went bankrupt,
Yep.
Mm.
so it got put on the shelves along with another Chris Hemsworth movie, Red Dawn, the Red Dawn movie,
I haven't seen that one.
and both of them were released after Thor because of it. And Thor was
2011.
yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Chris Hemsworth.
Saving movies. Unless it's Transformers. Then he's just doing all right.
Oh, Transformers 1. I was trying to remember, like,
Lucha live action one.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
mind was picturing Chris Hemsworth, like, running with Autobots in the live action movies. Like, that's never happened before.
Until he was one.
I could see that, though. Like, instead of Mark Wahlberg, just put Chris Hemsworth there.
See,
This worked out. Okay, let me go ahead and get to the characters then. Yes, characters. You have Kristen Connolly playing Dana the Virgin, Chris Hemsworth playing Kurt the Jock, Anna Hutchinson playing Jules the Whore, Fran Kranz playing Marty the Fool, Jesse Williams playing Holden the Scholar, Richard Jenkins playing Sitterson. He is the main guy in the directing the
Bald head?
older
Or
guy.
Mermaid Man?
bald head.
Bald head, yeah.
Bradley Whitford is playing Hadley, who is the
Mermaid Man.
mermaid man.
Barnacle Boy.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this movie. Likes, dislikes, everything in between.
Oh, I want to talk about. So when we first were supposed to watch this,
Mm-hmm.
what was the main reason why you didn't watch it?
I-
Were you just
I imagined it would be more supernatural
Yeah.
stuff going on,
yeah
and less comedy. And this was way more comedy
then-
than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how bad were you expecting it to be when you first thought about it? Like as bad as Invisible Man or close to that?
close to that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, out of the horror movies that we have watched, what would you put this beneath?
Beneath.
Like Alien Romulus, I'm pretty sure is definitely more intense, more scary.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
I'm more comfortable with that than something as what I imagined this movie would have been versus what Alien is.
Yeah.
Like Aliens is not that bad to me.
Yeah.
Like I expect aliens to be in an alien movie, so I'm not that
Yeah.
like terrified of it.
Okay.
But with Cabin in the Woods, I didn't know what to expect.
Cabin in the woods.
Right. And the
that's-
things are in and around it is what
Yeah.
I'm scared of, not the cabin itself, unless that's the monster like Monster House. But
Yeah.
which I mean, there could be a character, of course, but that was what I was expecting. I was expecting something else
Yeah.
when we were first planning on watching it.
Nice. I still don't remember what movie we paired it with because we paired it with something, right? And then we were supposed to watch
We must
both.
have.
And then he said he didn't watch it when he walked in the room, and we were like, okay, just one episode.
Yeah, I just don't remember which one it was.
But we started doing double episodes
This
this year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm assuming it's sometime this year.
maybe early.
Maybe late last year.
Maybe late last year.
Because it was kind of when you're kind of transitioning between jobs and also got the house, so you kind of had less time
Yeah.
to do every weekend.
Yeah.
But we did the Halloween special at your house.
My house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I feel like we did Cabin in the Woods after that.
I feel like too.
Yeah. So we'll figure it out later. So Aliens is, as a movie, as a concept, is less scary than Cabin in the Woods.
It's not as grounded in reality.
Well, I'm picturing.
It
That-
is more grounded in reality.
Yeah, it's more grounded, right?
It's a less supernatural thing.
Yeah. There's more of a chance of an alien coming to Earth as opposed to a ghost or a werewolf or some other paranormal creature coming.
I think I can apply my logic to that.
Yeah.
Huh.
So he's more scared of the thing that's not real than the thing that's possibly real.
I don't know if it's the exact phrasing, but yes.
That's very weird.
Yeah.
What?
I'm more scared of the mysterious.
Oh, okay.
Like, because I don't know what to expect when watching Cabin in the Woods versus in Aliens, I can expect aliens.
oh.
The ultimate life form is less scary than his imagination.
Okay, not the monster itself, but like my feelings around it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Nice. Makes sense, I guess.
That's why reading the synopsis was like changing for me. It's like, oh, okay, so it's kind of around what this is saying versus what I was thinking it would be. So that changed my mindset a little
In
bit.
your mind, what were you thinking?
I
He
was
has no idea.
just imagining like
Slasher film? Or?
slasher film with a mysterious entity, or like I wasn't sure at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the same for me is like I didn't know what to expect the first time, but I remember seeing like it on like YouTube videos that it's not your normal horror film, and so that's why I was like, I've been okay with it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and it's not really a slasher film. Like the worst is probably the first couple kills, and then it gets bloody here and there.
Yeah, there's
but it's
injuries,
more,
but not.
more like hysterical,
Yeah.
like funny type of situation.
Like there's no on-screen gore. There's injuries, but not like dismemberment on screen.
A little bit, not a,
a
lot.
little bit, right?
Not-
With the first kill.
I mean, there's a huge comedic splash of blood.
yeah, it's pretty unrealistic.
Mm.
Shining level of blood.
but- yeah,
Yeah, I guess.
that's how I felt.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad.
Yeah.
I felt like okay, John could watch this. Like, yeah, this is not that bad.
If that wimp could watch this, then I can do it too.
Well, okay, I'm not averse to gore as much as John is, so
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
this is just true.
Did this at any point in time spike your like gore, like
I think it was easier to deal with it in this one, especially the first time because
yeah?
we definitely watched it this year. Like, but anyway,
Mm-hmm.
Our minds just stuck on.
yeah,
We watched
it was definitely easier to watch the first time because like I'm at home,
Yeah.
I can watch it at any point in the day, and if need be, I could just like do something else and like. Whereas in Alien Romulus, like I had to just sit there and watch this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think I was like the first time watching it, I was playing like a lower, like intense game where I could just like focus on the movie and then turn away if needed. But even then, like there was never a point where I felt that I needed to turn away.
Yeah. Okay, nice. And you said while watching it the first time that you I was pointing at you, not
I know.
not requesting a pinky.
Yeah, it's okay.
You said watching it the first time you enjoyed it more?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the score again? You
8
say
and then 7.
8 and now it's a 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that? Why do you feel like the rewatchability is not there?
The rewatchability is I mean it's there because the score is still high. It's just I don't know. I think part of it is that they definitely chose what they chose for a very specific reason, like
Yeah.
to make fun of like how normal scary movies are. Like they have all these elaborate and cool like monsters that they could have chose from, but they specifically chose the Butcher family because like that's also very common for American
Was it-
horror.
Was it chosen or is it at random? I can't remember.
The people choose it, like the people that are in the cabin by whatever.
Oh yeah,
animal.
yeah.
But I'm talking about the directors themselves, the screenwriters
Yeah.
chose this specific because it's
Yeah.
very common.
Yeah, it's very common.
Like
Yeah.
I think like Jason, Freddy, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre always have like that type of
Mm-hmm.
person.
Yeah. that monster, that force. Yeah.
And then like they even play it off with the other ones too. Like I was reading the trivia that I mean, the Japan one is pretty obvious what they're
Yeah.
referencing. It's
Yeah.
the ring.
The ring.
I think the other two that they talk about in the trivia is that like Buenos Aires is King Kong.
King Kong. Is it like a minotaur creature, but King Kong? Does it have
I don't
horns?
remember seeing the film. I can't like it. That just doesn't stick out to me.
Yeah.
And then Madrid was Dracula.
Dracula. Okay.
Yeah. And then there's one more. Oh, that references the Thing.
The Thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're all very common. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say to you, but it was going off of what you said. But if I remember, we'll get to
About
it.
like how it's like very common the type of bad guys they chose or.
It was something in that ballpark. I had a question about it, but we'll come to it later.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I kind of wish they would have chose something different, but I also understand why they went with the Butcher family.
What would you have wanted to be chosen?
Just something different.
You have a preference?
Not really. After realizing this is more of like close to satire,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
this makes sense that they would choose very common and making fun of the same murderous, like butchering family that would kill a family in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting concept that these people have to realistically sacrifice people to satisfy evil entities so
Mhm.
they can continue to live. So all horror movies are just planned sacrifices to these gods. And if going based off of this movie.
I guess
Yeah,
if you
it's-
want to apply this concept to all horror movies, yes, I guess.
It's weird to like think of like that as a premise for
What?
every horror
Say it
movie.
again?
Every horror movie is just a planned sacrifice to appease these evil gods. Like every year there's a different
Applying this
thing.
logic
Yeah.
to all horror movies,
Yeah.
that below this facility or above this facility is wherever you're gonna die.
Yeah, because a lot of horror movies happen in the woods in some random house. You got Evil Dead, right? And that, so they released, what was Evil Dead? Evil Dead was zombies, right? Evil Dead was zombies. There was some ghosts involved, but it's just
Keep going with your point, and then I'll explain why I laughed.
but it's Evil Dead is almost like, this is like a retelling of Evil Dead. Essentially, they have a cellar, they go down the cellar, they find stuff, they find the book of Necronomicon. Like it's just like an exact play of one possible outcome of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just weird to think about and picture.
So I laugh because like when they're doing the bets, like the one lady's like, but I had that too, and he's like,
Oh yeah,
he's like, well, you had zombie. This is zombie butchering murders family or something crazy, and I was just like, they fit all those characters, like you said, the Evil Dead, like
Yeah.
the slasher films, they fit it all into one. Like,
Exactly,
it's
like-
just so funny.
like every
American like horror film is just in these
Buckets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that every country, or maybe countries share this network, or maybe there's multiple networks underground, but every country has to have this system, unless Japan always just gets that ghost demon creature.
No.
But you would think that,
I'm sure they have their own
yeah, I think maybe,
underground facility of monsters.
yeah, like it's that. Now I'm thinking about it, it's so preposterous. Like, where do these creatures come from? Were they given from the gods, or did they have to
Probably,
capture them?
or
I was
something.
like, this is such a weird thing to think about.
I don't think you're
now.
supposed to think
You're
about
not
it too
supposed
hard.
to think about it. But
it's,
now
it's yeah.
that's super weird. Like, when did this start? Did the gods like leave tablets or something to say this must be done, like the 10 dead commandments or something? Or
Yeah.
to not be dead, or and now I need a prequel to this.
Oh, I don't need another origin story, please.
No.
No.
No,
or
it's
maybe more movies in this timeline, but I'm assuming this is the last movie in this timeline because they don't complete the ritual. No one does.
Right.
So
Across the
Japan
world.
does, and no
Yeah.
one does. Which is Japan is according to this movie is usually number one. They usually succeed in this. So it's weird that if the fate of the world depends on at least one of these, that you're still in competition with them. Like it shouldn't matter who completes it as long as someone completes it. So you would think that you would, if your situations failed, you would allocate resources to help still surviving situations.
But
Yeah.
they're all going on at the same time.
Yeah.
But that's
So-
also human nature. That you just
Yeah.
want to do better than others,
Yeah.
even though it's supposed to be helping each other.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going at the same time, but they still have surveillance of other ones. I'm assuming Japan probably has similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like to assume that they'd have the time to instantly transport something to help is not gonna,
Yeah, that's true. It's just now I'm thinking about it. Like it's still fun.
Yeah,
but
no, I
it's-
don't think you have to think
about-
I'm taking it apart and like you would definitely rig this more if the fate of the world depended on it.
I think what would have been funny is if they like referenced how like we had our own version of the ring, like a cheap knockoff of the Japan one would have been pretty funny to see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would have been interesting to get another style of creature from another
A different culture.
different culture, like a chupacabra,
Mhm.
like the ring creature, a Dracula, like that's what I'm saying. It'd be interesting to see. This is a 2009 or 2012. This is when the world ends. Maybe that's what that is alluding to. 2012 is the end of the world due to evil
I don't
gods.
think it worked out that way. But
No, they
it
don't
just
reference
so
the-
happened to work out that way, but yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe they have movies. Give me like just 5 movies between, I don't know, 19. When did horror movies like become a thing? 60s, 70s.
I mean,
They've been in 50s.
the
It was
fourth-
Dracula.
yeah.
Yeah, King Kong in 1933.
Yeah.
So give me a movie each decade leading up to the end of this. that I would watch that. Give me in a style of a 1930s horror movie, a silent-ish film horror movie.
Mhm.
They give me a 40s, give me a 50s. I would do something like that. I think that'd be fun. I think this
You'd
has.
watch that series.
I would definitely watch that series. This has for me a lot of rewatchability. I think that any movie or media that has like someone going against the grain, against the norm,
Mhm.
I resonate with that a little bit. Not to the point that like Marty, he wants society to fall apart for I forgot what he said, but like when he says society is binding, like he wants
Mhm.
it to be undone. But I don't think that's definitely not the idea I have of what it means to go against the grain, but just not to always be
Too connected.
too connected. Yeah, you got to be a little bit distant from everyone.
Mm.
That you're your own person and your own
Yeah.
thoughts. But I think that's where I resonate the most, and I think I for sure like horror more than both of you. So just seeing this and a different twist, it not just being a horror movie, but commentary on horror and the movies and why certain things happen and why people act dumb.
Mhm.
Like those chemicals in the hair dye that make her, I just think more.
Dumb blonde, yeah.
Is it dumb or horny? Or is it both, maybe?
dumb.
Dumb
Is
blonde.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they spray gas to make them.
Oh, the pheromones.
Yes.
Pheromones. Okay, and then what do they do there's gas for Chris Hemsworth. He's like, we should stick together. No one splits apart, and then they gas him, and then he's like, no, this is a bad idea. Like,
Let's
we
split
gotta
up. Go to your room.
we'll cover more ground this way. Try to
They have,
sound
like
like
they have a situation for everything,
yeah,
They're
Yeah.
like, why hasn't the tunnel collapsed? They got a hot wire.
Yeah. At the beginning, did you notice when they're driving up to the cabin, what happens to the bird?
Yeah. I mean,
so John missed that part, I guess, 2 times.
wait, what?
Oh no, not the second time, like
No.
because you mentioned it.
But you missed it
Oh,
the first
okay.
time?
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
and so like when Chris Hemsworth gets on the bike and tries to jump the cliff,
Yeah.
You saw that coming, right?
I didn't expect.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't expect him to hit. That.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just. I think the first time I watched it, like I remember that thing happening, and I knew something was gonna happen because it just seemed too easy, and then it happens, and it did kind of shock me, kind of scared me for a second because like, oh, I forgot like that happened to the bird, but
Yeah.
it made sense that they set up that just brief plot of everything is in a controlled area
Mm-hmm.
and is bound and man, imagine having that job of manipulating, being part of chemistry, being part of the engineers. Like that'd be a very, I don't know, it'd be a weird situation because you have to do this, otherwise the entire planet's done, but you're just so careless. You guys are gambling on these people's lives. You guys are laughing at these situations. You're putting people in literally life or death situations
Yeah.
just for your own satisfaction. Which
But I think at that point, like
It's so normal.
it's normal and it's you have to find some way to cope with what you're doing.
yeah, you
And
gotta
so you make it a
make it
betting
light,
thing,
make
or-
it
yeah.
lighter. Yeah,
At this point, you're desensitized with death,
yeah.
with being a part of it.
Yeah, which is I think the operators of that facility is the horror community around movies.
Mhm.
Like you're desensitized, you're used to this type of stuff.
Mhm.
You look forward to it.
Mhm.
Is you're willingly giving your money to see this happen, so it's the a little bit like joking satire
Yeah.
of horror movies and the community.
Yeah,
that
there's
it
the guy that
serves.
really wants Mermaid Man movies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
then
then
he
when he
gets
gets it, it
yeah.
sucks.
It sucks.
He's dead.
Oh man, that was an ugly mermaid, man. Oh man. Yeah, like I said, I could watch a couple movies in this line for sure. I don't know if there's any talks. Did you look up any trivia, like any plan,
I mean, what would they do after this? Like,
or like just it doesn't have to be after, like chronologically, but in
not even that. Like, what else would you want to see that you didn't see in this movie?
You just have to retroactively watch a horror movie and just imagine it.
just imagine it.
Yes.
Hmm,
Just
yeah.
imaginary
Every
connections.
movie every kung fu movie is a Kung Pao movie, and
Yep.
every horror movie is a Cabin in the Woods
Yep.
situation.
Yep.
All right, got it. Every horror movie we do, we got to do a Cabin in the Woods spin on it.
Right. We have to just imagine what's behind the scenes going on.
Yeah, who's the fool, who's the virgin, who's the scholar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to do that. All right, Jaws is next, so we got to
We're gonna apply that logic.
We'll apply it to Jaws. I'm reading something. Hold on.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, we'll
Keep
keep
talking,
talking.
stop-
We'll keep talking.
Stop looking at me like you're.
Oh,
expecting me to say
sorry.
something.
Yeah, it's weird seeing Chris Hemsworth so young in this.
Yeah.
I think
Even though it's just less than 10 years, or a little bit more than 10 years ago.
a little bit more than 10 years, but he just looks like
Yeah. He's leaner.
he's leaner. Yeah, he's not thored up yet.
Right. He's
He-
still muscular,
he's
but
still
he's just not
muscular.
as wide.
Yeah. Who else?
But I mean, overall, the characters did a good job.
Yeah.
All the actors did a good job.
Yeah, everyone did a good job for what they were supposed to
Yeah.
be. Have you watched Grey's Anatomy at all?
No.
No. Okay, so my wife is watching Grey's Anatomy, and as her husband, I don't watch it consistently, but I see some of it.
Yeah.
Well, Holden, the guy, Chris Hemsworth's friend,
Yeah.
not the stoner. He's part of Grey's Anatomy, and I was like, going into the movie, I'm like, I think the guy from Grey's Anatomy is in here, and she goes, really?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, I'm gonna take a look at his eyes, but you see his really like bright blue eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and when he gets, not even before he gets on the screen, I can hear his voice. I'm like, yep, that's him. She goes, oh yeah. It's just weird as you discover actors, you realize that they're known more for certain roles,
Yeah.
but they're in other roles that they didn't really like burst out of the scene.
Right. You you make a connection like he's been in Grey's Anatomy for so long, and then
Yeah.
he ends up in a random
like,
movie.
Oh, he's in this random movie. Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's super weird. I think this is before he was in Grey's Anatomy.
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't know. Definitely not my style.
Did Nicole watch Cabin in the Woods with you?
Partially.
Okay.
I think she watched partially, and then, no, she actually finished it,
Hmm.
and I fell asleep before I finished it.
Oh.
So I had to rewatch yesterday. I had to rewatch like 15 minutes or 20 minutes of it.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I was falling asleep. Go ahead.
Oh, were you joking that I was watching the wrong one? Like
No, wait.
there was a TV series or something?
No. So you said, hold up, I'm midway through it. And you said,
Oh.
and I was like,
'Cause you said
it.
it,
I was
yeah.
like, you were not
Okay.
watching it.
Well, I didn't have it capitalized, so you can't get me.
Yeah,
I
was-
tried.
I was reading up on like the relationship between M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin and
Yeah.
Cabin in the Woods. They're not related.
Yeah, there's
That's
nothing
what I
about-
was thinking of. That would be scary. Okay.
Also, that like, yeah, there's no
plans.
for, and I don't believe there ever will be.
Well, with AI coming in, then
Make your own movie.
make your own movie, or instead of humans, Hal in 2001: A Space Odyssey says it's due to human error. So take the humans out of it. Now make it AI generated situations where there's actual AI controlling the world,
Oh boy.
or a fight between the evil gods and the AI.
That's just the
fight-
Matrix.
It's just the Matrix.
That's just the Matrix.
Evil Matrix movie. There's got to be something like that. I mean, Matrix is pretty evil to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, were you happy we talked about it, or finally, or if we just took too long on it?
I think maybe we just took too long on it. but
Yeah. Yeah.
Albert's fault. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's my fault. Yeah, it's my fault. Blame me.
I think it's definitely worth watching though.
Yeah.
Worth talking about.
Would you watch this in theaters?
Probably not.
No. Okay. Okay.
Would you? What would be your choice at the end? Say you're the fool.
Okay.
Do you kill yourself to save the world?
If that's what saves the world,
Mhm.
I'm not selfish enough to, because I'm gonna die anyways, right? If I kill myself or if I die at the hands of evil gods, I'm
Mhm.
gonna die anyway. So I'm not. My life is not worth 6 billion people's lives.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I definitely would. As much as I wouldn't want to, and I have a fear of like death and committing suicide is definitely, I can't even say the word on YouTube. We'll have to bleep it out. But unaliving myself is definitely something I would never do,
Mhm.
for the record. So if something happens, I didn't do it.
Okay.
Just so we have it on record.
Okay.
I love my life.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Do you believe that if you made that sacrifice, that humanity would turn itself around?
I mean, that's not the point. It's just a chance to survive, right? It's
Right.
not. It's not saying like, oh, you're guaranteed a better start. It's just, oh, you appease these gods.
Yeah, I mean,
so you
yeah.
continue to live another year.
That's the premise of this
Yeah.
of the cycle or
Yeah.
of the movie is you have to do it all the time.
Yep. And who's to say it's once a year?
Right.
Maybe it's every month.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Maybe it's every 6 months. Like, who knows? Like, maybe it's just if the earth starts rumbling, okay, we got like 2 weeks to put this together. Like, who knows the situation?
Mm-hmm.
Could be way different than what we're imagining. Yeah, that's why I think it's such an interesting movie. Is I can watch it, have fun with it, but then also there's little pieces that you catch on to. It's not as detailed as I would hope it to be, but sometimes you see in the little cubes there's an extra monster you didn't catch last time.
They wrote this script in a hotel room with a box of scraps.
Did they?
It took them 3 days.
Took them 3 days.
That's a crazy amount of time.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
pretty
short amount of
fast.
time is what I meant.
Pretty fast.
So do you think Marty is foolish by not sacrificing himself? See what I did there?
Selfish.
No, but you would think that any fool dying would appease the gods but I guess it has to be with intention, maybe. I don't know the rules of this, but
It has to be for the people that willingly followed every step up until, like, they had the cabin in possession.
yep.
They ignored the old guy
Yep.
At the gas station
at the
Yep.
gas station, and then they chose
to go down
to go down
to the cellar.
Yep.
and play with toys.
Yep.
So it had to be those people at that point.
Okay.
They were too far in for it to be any other fool.
Yeah.
There's no wild cards. There's no jokers. This isn't Baltoro, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I don't think he's a fool. I just think that the way he thinks he's not part of that, I don't know, system or that ritual. So he's made up his mind that he's not doing what people want him to do. So
But that's also foolish that you think that you can be separate from that.
yeah. Well, that's his that's what his
Yeah.
motto is, or that's his belief. So there's it's weird that doing something that you believe in and you stand up for is also tied with the fate of the world. That's where it gets
Yeah.
that's where it gets kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because normally in a situation like that, it's not bad to stand up what you believe in. He's not harming anyone. He's not causing anyone physical or psychological, emotional harm. So there's nothing wrong with that. But because he's not dying, everyone else has to.
Yeah.
So
That's foolish.
But
Yeah.
he also still dies.
yeah, he also dies in addition to everyone else. So it's not like, oh, he only one to survive. Maybe that would be interesting if those 5 people, if they were to survive, that those would be 5 people guaranteed to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that'd be interesting if
I
that
think
was
it'd
the
just
concept.
be more interesting if it was just like they had a chance to survive instead of this giant thing just coming out of the ground and killing everybody. Like, so, but because that didn't happen that way, it leaves you like with a lot of like, well, this guy was pretty dumb for being so selfish, and so.
Yeah. Well, looking on it on a movie, like, there's no actual consequences to our world, and like you can
Yes.
say, oh well, separate from our reality, what he did is commendable, but also it sacrifices everyone. Like, it's weird because if this was a real life situation, obviously everyone will want to survive based off of one person's life.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
But this is a separate story from our real life, so that's where you can say, hey, like, that's cool that he did that, and I wish I could have, maybe you look up to that, or people say I want to be more like that, not, kill everyone besides or in addition to myself, but maybe stand up what you believe in. You can take away that message.
I think the cool thing would have been like if after everything that he went through, like understanding that they're in this this thing together, like that something's not right, and even still being able to like sacrifice yourself for the greater like of humanity is cooler than just saying like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
like nah, that's not okay. The world can end. Like I don't care. I'm just gonna smoke some weed and die.
Yeah.
Anyways, die anyways. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what the interesting thing about the movie is that like it tries to fit everybody into like these archetypes, and it's very clear that they don't fit point to point, and then in the end, when it comes to like the last two, they have a choice, and in my opinion, he fits the full archetype because he was pretty like selfish in his decision.
Yep.
Whereas like everyone else like died for this thing to happen,
Yeah.
and they don't fit point to point, and he like makes it he's the person that like basically is breaking the fourth wall like the entire time, and then in the end he's the one that like fits the most with his decision making.
That is interesting. That's pretty cool.
This movie gives you a lot to think about,
Yeah.
even though it's not like you shouldn't think too hard about it.
It's not that deep, yeah.
It is that deep. What do you mean?
I know. I'm saying like if you try to break the movie apart, then that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
But the setup for the movie, and especially that character for what he thinks and what the movie premise is pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
That's all, folks. Alrighty.
Yeah, I'd watch it. I would watch it in theaters. It would be fun to watch with an audience, I feel.
Excuse me. No, I'm good. I'd rather watch it by myself still. Okay, Jugs and Plugs. Subscribe to us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Like, share, comment. How do you guys feel about The Cabin in the Woods? What archetype do you fit into? Should we watch Knock at the Cabin, even though they're unrelated?
When I was bringing up Cabin in the Woods, there was like a TV series or something. Is that the
Really?
same?
I don't know.
Knock
Oh.
at the Cabin is a movie that was recently released. That like
Dave
within
Bautista.
Dave Bautista.
Okay. There was some TV series that came up in the results, so maybe I don't know if that's adjacent or I just looked up the wrong thing.
Maybe. With that being said, this has been the Legendary Sid Podcast, and join us next time for the original blockbuster, Jaws.
Yeah.
Cabin in the Woods, 2024. It's something different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Will this be what we've been looking for?
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.